So in the past hour or so, Packers GM Brian Gutekunst spoke with the media, and in it he started off describing why the Packers decided to trade away Rasul Douglas. Of course, yesterday, Rasul gets traded away from Green Bay right before the trade deadline. The Packers send a 5th-round pick with Rasul, get a 3rd-round pick in return, basically moving from the 5th round to the 3rd round for the 2024 NFL Draft. And Brian Gutekunst had a few different things to say regarding this move, why the Packers did it. First off here from Paul Brettel. It was a tough one because of what he means to our team, said Gutekunst on trading Rasul. Adds there wasn't a plan to make a trade, but the offer was too good to pass up. Then Ryan Wood says Brian Gutekunst wasn't looking to trade, but Bills called him a couple days ago an offer too good to pass up. Asked if his outspokenness was factored, not at all. Rasul has been a very good leader for us, a very positive leader for us. It really had nothing to do with it. So Brian Gutekunst also said that there was an offer made before the final offer that wasn't good enough for the Packers to want to trade Rasul. But then when they moved it to a 3rd-round pick, Gutekunst saw that was an opportunity to get solid draft capital in return. And I also want to factor in this here from Ryan Wood. Brian Gutekunst on value of 3rd-round pick Packers received from Rasul Douglas trade. That's a 4-year rookie contract. It also frees up significant resources with the cap next year as well. He also says it frees up developmental snaps. So here's one thing that is important to look at when we look at what happens with this Rasul Douglas trade, and it is cap savings for next season in 2024. Ken Ingalls here on X explains it pretty well. He says this: Packers trade Rasul Douglas. They save about $864,000 in 2023 salary cap. He had a $11.6 million cap hit in 2024 and a $2.5 million dead cap hit in 2025 when his contract was going to void. Instead, the Packers will have a $5.1 million 2024 cap hit and with $6.5 million in savings. So the Packers trade away Rasul Douglas. They move from the 5th round to a 3rd round pick. And then they save $6.5 million next season. And as Gutekunst notes, the Packers get a cheap rookie contract from that 3rd round pick. And so I think in a vacuum, clearly right now, the Packers are a worse team. But I think when you look at the Packers and their cornerback room, their secondary, we do have Eric Stokes still. He, of course, is injured right now on the injured reserve. But I think when you look at different positions on the Packers roster, cornerback could be a position where we have a little bit more depth. I think we need to hope and see that Eric Stokes gets back to his former self after being out a long time with injuries. But let's say Eric Stokes comes back and plays pretty well. I was questioning myself, where would he factor into this cornerback room? Because Rasul was playing well, Jair, of course, is going to start. And I think Stokes is better on the outside than playing from the slot where Keyshawn Nixon plays. And so I was contemplating what would happen with Stokes. But now with Rasul gone, once Eric Stokes comes back, he'll probably be the starter opposite of Jair Alexander. And maybe Carrington Valentine gets some snaps there as well. He, I think, played really well in the preseason, has struggled a little bit in the past few games, but I think the Packers probably still see some potential there, and maybe he improves as time goes by. And so while I do think that just in a vacuum, losing Rasul Douglas hurts this team, the Packers are going to be able to utilize that 3rd round pick. Let's say they decide to draft a offensive lineman, like a right guard to put in there with their 3rd round pick next season. They have Eric Stokes out there, maybe Carrington Valentine, and I think you could argue overall this Packers team could be better using that 3rd round pick on some other weakness. Also freeing up $6.5 million that they could use on a potential other player. So I think all in all, it's a pretty, solid value for the Packers. Freeing up cap space. They have some depth at cornerback. Hopefully, it pans out well. And they, can use that 3rd round pick on a different weakness that I think they have more so than at the cornerback, position. So that is pretty much the reasoning Brian Gutekunst shared. He also shared a few different interesting things about the offense. It sounds to me like right now, Gutekunst is noting how, this offense is having so many different issues that it's pretty hard to judge each specific player. Even noting with Jordan Love, there are times where he's playing really well, the other guys aren't, so it's hard to tell what's going on there. Other times where the other players are playing well, he doesn't play well. And so there's just so much confusion on this offense and so many different issues that need to get fixed and ironed out. And Gutekunst sounds pretty adamant about staying dedicated to the process, and he thinks that these guys have the potential to be good and solid on offense, but it just hasn't really come to fruition yet at this point. And one other interesting thing. Here for Matt Schneidman, he says, Brian Gutekunst on potentially adding a veteran receiver. We looked at some things, but there really wasn't much to look at, to be honest. So it sounds like the Packers potentially were interested in adding a veteran receiver. I don't think that would have been a bad idea, just because it would bring a little bit more experience to this Packers offense. Because honestly, before the season, I thought that Christian Watson and Romeo Doubs would be able to be enough for the Packers receiver room to be solid as these younger receivers, rookies, continue to develop. But so far, I think both Watson and Dobbs have not really played at a top tier level, which I expected. And so it would have made sense to add a veteran to maybe bring some more stability to this Packers offense and Jordan Love, but Gutekunst didn't seem to find a deal that made sense to him. So that is pretty much it. That's what Brian Gutekunst had to say on the Rasul Douglas trade. If you guys want more content like this, I post multiple Packers videos throughout the week. I also have a second channel where I've been posting more other NFL topics, and I'll leave that link down below if you want to subscribe there. I made a video on the Raiders organization and the firing of Josh McDaniels early this morning, so feel free to check that one out. But that's all I have for this one, and I'll see you guys next time.